Hey, Sarvesh. I made sure that we went live. Can you make sure that the YouTube link is a go? Just so everyone knows we're officially live. Guys, hi everybody. We're going to give everyone another 5 minutes before we officially kick things off, as it is just getting started. So we'll see you back in 5 more minutes. Alrighty then. It looks like we are officially live.
Okay, we're ready to go. This is so exciting. Our first grand AMA. I'm glad to have everyone on here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time it is in everyone's time zones. But today I want to introduce our team. We've got Zach, our chief advisor.
Hey guys.
We got Nick, our CEO. We got Sam, our COO.
What's up, guys?
Sorbesh, our game marketing manager.
Hey everyone.
Kizzer, our CTO.
Hey everyone.
And myself, Marina, the operations manager. So within the first 5 minutes of our AMA today, we're going to cover and give you the answers to all the dates you've been waiting for and essentially have a grand unveiling of everything we've been working on. So some of the agenda items we have today is a quick project overview, like I mentioned, some of our major milestones and the roadmap for what's to come. Our business operations, we're going to hear from Sorbesh in marketing and strategy, partnerships, what we've got in the pipeline, and what is to come. And then we're going to touch base on where it all started as well and talk about where we're at with Zogi Academy. And then company goals and targets, as well as leave the floor open for some Q&A. Zach, Nick, do you want to talk to us about what we've been doing so far and what the road has had for us and what we're going to be working on this year?
I'll make it quick since you've given a very hard 5-minute deadline. I've been waiting for this AMA for quite a long time, actually 3 years now, if you think about it. I'll start where we left off before, which was the last quarter, what we've achieved so far. We to start off in last quarter, one of our biggest milestones we achieved was getting our MBLK listed and running. So our in-game token is now live with all the centralized exchanges and dexes as well. We also were able to release our revolutionary staking platform, which has received a lot of active participants. Moving on, in next quarter, I think I'll let Zach take over.
Yeah, hey guys, hey, thanks for that, Nick. Yeah, again, Marina, since you gave such a hard deadline, I'm gonna just quickly keep it short so we can move straight away to the dates. Just zooming down on the last quarter, I mean, it's great, building through the bears brought a lot of validation. When people see you building, they respect you. So a lot of people reached out, a lot of people saw what we're doing. Great to have MBLK listed with reputable exchanges. Great to have the staking protocol out so we could start rewarding our holders, especially the long, loyal ones. And just kind of zoning on the quarter before, obviously, you guys are going to go into a lot of the details. So just specifically on achievements that we wanted to make on the product side. And we were able to bring beta to the market. We were able to bring a new game mode to the market. And all of that has been kind of progressing in a even more accelerated roadmap. Nick himself, of course, brought in a lot of new team members. I think you guys are going to talk about it later in the AMA. The presentation here is quite clear. So we were able to get 15,000 signups. Currently, we have 20 KOLs that stream us. Staking has been fantastic. Again, it's solidified MBLK in the market. We probably host the highest liquidity ratio, or one of the highest liquidity ratios against our circulating cap, making MBLK a very strong asset for sustainable growth and a little anti-extreme volatility, like we always mentioned, that would take away from the gaming experience, the user experience. We've launched a bunch of successful tournaments, my personal favorite being the Builders Tournament with Engine that we're going to cover later in the AMA. And yeah, I mean, let's just move to it, right? Wanted to summarize, get to the dates, and then we'll talk in details. We'll take on community questions. So, Marina?
Yeah, that's awesome. Honestly, the community, if you want to drop a comment on some of your favorite tournaments, we'd love to see what you participated in and maybe some of your favorite maps. But I think we're all waiting for one big announcement, Zach. What would that be?
Our launch date, our rollout date.
Okay, we have a drum roll.
It's a table finger roll, but yeah. March 25th. Oh, wow. That's this month. All right.
Who's excited?
I am.
Me
So it's
too.
been a long time in the making, guys, but
Time.
kicking things off much sooner than any of you probably expected. Okay, cool. Take it back, Marina. It's all you.
But this is a pretty big quarter for us, actually. So let's kind of dig into some of the other rollouts we have for this quarter, and I mean, essentially this month. So we're going to go over summoning in this AMA, some of our new game modes, so speedrun game modes, survival game modes, MMORPG onboarding and quests, our rental pool incomes, what we're doing with multi-chain integrations, and a little sneak peek into Petzogis as well.
Awesome. Like you said, Marina, Bezogia is a huge product. So as just want to like clarify here, from March 25th, we start rolling it out. So you guys are going to be excited to see how much is to come from March 25th onwards as well.
And leading into that, actually, I want to pick your brain, Zam, on summoning. What is it? Do you want to share this little video with us of how we summon?
Yes, of course. So let's do a quick, like 30-second video on what it means to summon. And then maybe Zach, you can explain the importance of the dynamics. But right now, I believe you might be muted. So let's watch a video first. Alrighty then. So that was a quick little video of how to bring new Bezogis into life and the innovative technology of the supply and demand mechanics. But Zach, why don't you kind of give us a deep dive of why it's important, what it means, like why did we go down this path, and what it means for the future of the rental pools and all that good stuff.
Well, first of all, it's exciting and entertaining, right? Because we populate we bring population of the users, the gamers bring the population of Bezogia, and it's exciting because you just never know what Bezogia you're going to summon. It's so random, right? But the whole purpose behind this was summoning was one of our first proprietary protocols that we wanted to decentralize mechanics in game. So the one thing that we noticed was that avatars were all over the place. It was just subject to how much a project or a game studio wanted to monetize. But when we looked at it, decentralization, where there's no control and everyone has control, we developed the summoning mechanic. So what summoning does is it allows two avatars to summon a third one. And there's a cost of that summoning. And the summoning cost goes up as you summon more. Essentially, what that does is it does not allow too much supply of avatars or Bezogis to come to the market. Why? Because there's an existing marketplace where people can also buy and sell Bezogis. So this allows us to take daily active users and the population of Bezogia hand in hand. And what it also does, it allows everyone to create the value of the population and not just the entity or the project that's running it. So ZogiLabs has taken the most valuable asset of Bezogia and made it a fair distribution asset, which means all the Bezogis belong to users, they summon, and the population control is purely dictated with supply and demand. That's a little bit of a deep dive into summoning.
I think one thing that was missed out to also keep in mind is that summoning costs would also increase with increase in the population of Bezogia and Bezogis. So what that means is if you don't summon and others are summoning, your first summon will be more expensive than the other users' first summon, who summoned a few months earlier than yours. That's one. So yeah, don't miss out on
Nick,
this.
what you're saying is this is really built for the early adopters to kind of jump in there and start summoning, because the earlier you are, the more advantage you have. Looking at the dates, a lot of the game products are going to roll out March 25th, but summoning is going to roll out 5 days before, just to get everyone excited and hyped up into the product. It's also kind of a nice little marketing strategy to get everyone excited.
Nice. A little birds and a bees talk, but Bezogia edition. I love that. I kind of want to learn more about the other game modes we had, though, specifically the speed run and our survival game modes. It looks like we even have some engine branded balls here coming down on this cool map. Kizzer, Sam, do you guys want to talk about these game modes?
Yeah, for sure. I think from this video and the recent tournament that happened with Engine, we can actually, I'm actually very proud that we can say that our UGC has an ability to create a lot of unique games within it. So this was the map. All of these maps that you see here was actually created by our community. So you see how versatile the platform is and how cool you can create the maps inside that. So right now we have more than 25 plus maps already in the game. There are multiple competition that we have ran through engines and other activations as well that in this AMA you will hear from Zach and Nick and Zam about it. But these are not just two platforms. Right now on March 25th, we are going live with these two game modes. One is the speed run, and the second one is survival game modes. But in future there will be other as well. Most of our community already knows and sees what exactly is happening. And thank you for our community to test this out on beta and give us the feedback. So now we are very excited to go ahead. Zam, if you want to add something.
Yeah, of
Go
course.
ahead,
So what Kizzer said here is very pivotal and important. We've been aggressively testing and going through this in the beta with our community. So a lot of you are already aware of these things. But what is paramount and what is important is that in the last quarter, over 25, 30 maps have been built by our community that is very rich with all the dynamics. So what you should expect on the 25th is actually the rewards programs kicking in, tournaments, and the UGC component really being marketed and driving people to actually utilize these two game modes, right? So we've stabilized it, we've polished it up, and now it's packaged and wrapped up, ready for the mass adoption.
Zam, when I see competitions or rewards, I do get really excited, and I'm curious about what kind of rewards we're expecting to see through these competitions.
Right. Excellent question. So in the first month of kicking things off, we are going to, we have over 100, might even be about 200,000 MBLK given out as rewards during competitions and tournaments. So we'll see a lot of tournaments on speed runs and a lot of tournaments on speed runs. And Sarvesh is going to talk a little bit later on when we get to the marketing and tournament section. But those tokens or those rewards are going to be up for grabs in a number of ways. So either you're building a map in a very creative way, like what you see in front of you came from our UGC builder tournament, where one of the maps look like this, but you can also attach a price or a payment or a reward for each map that you create. So now you'll have the ability to actually earn passively from your maps that you've created as we increase the number of users being onboarded. So you're essentially looking at creating these digital assets that generate value for you recursively. Not recursively, but what is that word? Progressively? Yeah, probably that way. Recursively. That's that's a little bit of an Easter egg for you guys, and you'll understand soon.
Sounds like you've been minting.
So we've had this other game mode for a while. So we've had MMORPG, and I've heard there's some developments on that side. Kizzer, what are some developments we have for MMORPG?
So our community has already seen MMORPG. It was one of the first game mode that we have developed in this, the actual, the game, the original idea, right? So, but this launch, you guys will see 25 plus new quests in this MMORPG, which will be story based. You'll see the storyline as well. There will be some daily rewards as well, so that you can kind of farm the stuff and get some daily rewards as well, because you're playing the game. This will be your chance to earn some colored blocks, eventually magical block as well, or MBLK as well. You will be able to get some cool recipes so that you can mint some cool weapons and skins. And there will be some boss fights and legendary battles as well that will be coming in. So we can safely say that this March, you will see an MBLK, which will, you will see the MMORPG, which will have kind of new things happening inside it. We have some new enemies as well and new animations as well.
Cool. Just to touch up on that as well, like anything else, this has been available for you in our beta, but in the beta, as we're testing things out and cleaning things up, we're taking a lot of feedback from the community, and one of the feedbacks has been more quests. They demand more quests. So the MMORPG will be progressively getting better and better and better. So in this first rollout, this is what Kizzer mentioned, is some storylines, some questing. In our Q2, we'll kind of explore how that's going to grow to a lot more quests, and ultimately it will be like the end goal is a far richer experience for everyone. So this component is more phased out approach. So in the MMORPG, now you'll have the ability to really farm from the MMORPG as you slay enemies, you get those magical blocks, then you can go ahead and mint and progressively level up your character. And that activation really kicks off on March 25th.
What I really like is how things really merge into multiple gameplays and modes. So, like a player comes in, goes into the MMORPG, farms a bit of MBLK out of the quest, goes and participates in some tournaments in the UGC, does some speed runs, or goes and makes an attempt at one of the battles. So it's like a continuous entertainment cycle, which allows MBLK and the economy and the time of the player to keep moving in between all of Bezogia. So really exciting, and it's a great start for the MMORPG as well. It's massive. People have seen it. The beta testers. It's huge. The world is huge, right? And there's a lot to do and a lot to fill up. So this is a great start here.
And if you've been following us for a while, I do encourage everyone in our community to reach out. We are always welcoming you more ambassadors, more streamers. Drop a comment. We'll have our community manager reach out to you, but we love hearing from you guys. Next, we wanted to get into what are our rental pools. So Kizzer, Zam, again, you guys are experts on this. What do we expect to see from rental pools?
Exciting.
Let me switch this up. Actually, this is rental pools, right? Yeah. This is it. This is you, Kizzer. So let's start with balances, actually, and kind of just give them an idea of what this entire dashboard is meant to do and why it's so exciting.
So most of you who are in the community have seen our game, has already seen this screen. So this is something new that we have added in a couple of months back. So here you can actually see the balance, not only your MBLK balance, but all of your colored blocks balances as well. So this actually is, I think Sarvesh is showing his screen and actually inside the game as well. So here you can see that he has 69 Zerk blocks, 793 other blocks, and all the calculations are also there. But the good thing is, as we said, now the game economy is almost there. You can convert these assets into MBLK. You can convert these blocks to MBLK and vice versa. So for example, you can convert these to MBLK and MBLK to these blocks. But not only that, we also thought that sometimes for different minting of a weapon, you need a certain block as well. So you can convert your color block to another color block as well. This was something that we thought will ease our users and will help them to mint new recipes as we go. The next is transactions. So this screen right now, you see it's empty, but when this will be launched, you will have an option to see the transaction or MBLK going in, your MBLK going out, and all the rewards that you earn through. So this promo code screen is actually, this is kind of a Easter egg. We are going to give you a lot of marketing and a lot of new events that's going to happen. So keep an eye on our socials. Sarvesh, Zam are actually working really hard to have some activations, and we will be dropping some good redeem codes. And these redeem codes will have a lot of new weapons, some MBLK, some maybe some cool NFTs and other stuff as well. So keep an eye. So once you get that, go to this screen and redeem the promo code, as soon as possible. So you'll see the reward that you come in. So the last thing is the rental income. So I think summoning, with the launch of summoning and all the Bezogis that you have, this was a very brilliant idea from Nick and Zach, that we want to give our community something back for holding our token and holding our NFT, right? So you see, when you log into the game, we assign randomly you a Bezogi. So what happens when a Bezogi is assigned to you? Then you will be able to play something, or whatever action you perform, we are taking at rental income. And that rental income is going to all the Bezogi holders. So if you don't have a Bezogi, this is the chance. It's a good opportunity to buy one. Summoning is also coming, and rental pool is also there. So in this screen, you can see the last week all rental income, okay, and all time rental income as well. And if you own a Bezogi, you see your last week income as well, and your all time earning as well. The more Bezogi you own, the more income you will get. And it will reflect, the changes will happen on every Monday between 1 to 2 a.m. UTC time. And we also have given summoning and buy button there as well, so that if you don't have it, quickly buy it.
Yeah, we do not want to see everyone's wallet looking like that. Hope that all our players and community, we don't want to see those zeros across the board. That does kind of lead into, unless Sam, you had anything to
I
add?
had to interrupt real quick second. Some of the community members are getting cheeky and they're asking, give them promo codes so they could test it for you.
Actually, I like the fact what's happened is I've heard MBLK a lot and I've heard Bezogi a lot. And I think a lot of people who've come into the AMA, they've been wanting to hear that. They've been wanting to see MBLK go everywhere in the product. So I'm happy I can, that we're able to show that as a team, that hey, MBLK is gonna go live and here and there, and you're gonna see like the logos are everywhere. Of course, the whole product's built around MBLK. But I also do like the fact that the Bezogis are gonna kick off. So a lot of our Bezogi holders, they've been very loyal. Over 1,000 of them, including the Petzogi guys, and they've been waiting for this moment where they can actually utilize their NFTs without having to go into gameplay. Right, the rental mechanic was built as a way to create a zero barrier to entry into Bezogia. The biggest problem with Web3 and blockchain games was and has been that you have to own their assets in order to play. And a couple of years back, Nick whipped up the whole idea of the rental mechanic, which became quite used now in the industry. So it's great. Like Kizzer says, if you haven't picked up your Bezogis or you're holding your Bezogis, this is a very exciting time for you. And of course, if you haven't picked up your bag of MBLK, well, there's a lot of MBLK utility going live. So, you can consider that as well. And for the ones that do hold it, I'm sure you guys are just as excited, if not more than I am.
Well, as we introduce what multi-chain integrations mean to us, the guys are going to hate me for this, but keep very close attention to the next image and scan it. Let us know if you see anything of interest. But Sam, tell us a little bit about what the future holds for multi-chain integrations.
Ooh, this one's juicy. I'm a little distracted because I'm looking in the chats on YouTube and there's just so many great questions. But let me get back to this and I'll hit you guys all up on YouTube in a bit. Let's see. Okay, so what you see before you, if you guys could spot the Easter egg that's hidden in here, you should definitely scan it. Essentially, multi-chain integration, similar to what we just did with Engine, is the ability to bring our product to the masses in a completely different way. Now, traditional marketing is influencers, collaborations, and all that good stuff. But what we're doing here, we're tapping into existing ecosystems that have a large user base. So what you recently saw with Engine was that we actually partnered with them. We will be onboarding their Engine wallet, and they have to push our product to their entire community of 500 or 1 million users. So what you're seeing here is a central hub where all of your assets will eventually end up, along with information on the rental pool, how much MBLK is there, what the price of MBLK is, potentially what NFTs you're holding, summoning. All the juicy details are going to be in this rental pool, and this is getting a major facelift. In terms of, I think I did miss one thing.
You did miss one thing, Zach.
What was
A
that?
very juicy one. This is where you can actually move your asset. Let's say you talk about Engine. We have some NFTs that will be on Engine, or you have some NFTs on Polygon, and you have some NFT on Ethereum. What if you want to move those NFTs to the game, and from the game towards your desired blockchain that we have integrated? So you're gonna move that as well from this dashboard.
That's huge, guys. For anyone that's ever seen Ready Player Me, like, essentially Bezogia is going to become a central hub where all assets can come into. So if you have an asset, I guess that's what you're saying, Kizzer. If you have an asset on Engine and you want to move it over to Ethereum, you bring it to Zogi Hub. From Zogi Hub, you move it into the game. You can use that character in some way in the game or that NFT and then take it out into another chain. So it becomes like a fluid, what would you even call it? Like a highway to move assets. That's a really cool concept.
Yeah, so it's actually decentralized gaming as service. So one of our visions, Zach's vision of decentralized gaming as service. This is the first step towards that. There are a lot of things that's going to happen, is happening, but I won't be the one to share that. I think Zach will be the one to share more of that.
Well, there's one thing there, if it hasn't caught anyone's attention, but there's a wallet connected at the top of this user interface. By the way, I'm really excited about the updates coming onto the website and the hub. Zam, does that say Bitcoin chain?
Do we tell them now?
It's like Easter egg, right?
Tell us.
Okay, look,
We'll
guys.
move on to the next slides. But
just note that there's a Bitcoin chain wallet connect on top there. And for some of you who are aware of what's happening on the Bitcoin side, there's a lot of anyways, next slide, please.
Let's move on.
I know we have some integrations down the pipeline, but I do want to hear from everyone. If you guys wanted to drop a comment and tell us what kind of chain integrations you want to see. Wow, PetJois, we're here already. Okay, are we going to get any sneak peeks about what we're doing with PetJois? Zach, Nick?
Look, I'll talk about the original PetJois, right? The original PetJois are an add-on to the Bezogis, right? As pets that move with them, walk with them, power them up, right? Add on additional attributes into those Bezogis. But we've been working behind the scenes a lot on the PetZogis. A lot of users thought, put them in a little cage and left them there. No, but we've been working a lot in the background with the PetZogis. For the last 3 months, we've been super active. So don't want to say much about PetZogis. All I can say is that it's not only just existing holders that are going to love what's about to come. And these announcements are going to start coming after the AMA. Of course, I think in the last slide, people saw that Zogi is about to make a very big grand entrance into the Bitcoin ecosystem as well. So with the PetZogi rollout as well, we're going to let the world know. And it's not going to be a product just for the PetZogi owners to be proud about or happy or excited about. I think it's going to ring and knock on every door in the industry. I think a lot of people, a lot of eyes will come to what has now become of the PetZogis. Nick, any more teasers, leaks on that, or? I mean,
you kind of gave out more than what I was planning to.
Zach, you did miss one thing. Hopefully, I can say it, but we did talk about or discuss that the PetZogis are locked up somewhere by the FUD King, and the frogs are currently in negotiations to free them. So those negotiations, guys, are ongoing, and you'll understand what that means very soon.
Yeah, it's a big frog army that's reached out to the FUD King, and I think the negotiations are almost complete. Zam, we've probably got the release of the PetZogis.
I think so. I think the council of the frogs are definitely getting close to some sort of conclusion on that front.
Let's do it. Let's give our community the great news soon. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, slimy escape, pun intended.
Yeah, slide and escape. That's funny.
So there's been a lot of work that's been put into Petzogis, into this quarter 1 rollout, which kind of leads into our whole operations of things. Zam, internally, where are we going with ZogiLabs and Legends of Bezogia?
To the moon. I don't know if I was about to say that. You said, where are we going? But that's where we're going. Let's go to the next slide. And guys, I want to take an opportunity here and kind of just expand on everything that's happening on the inside when you're building when you're managing a team of 50 plus developers, etc. There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes, and what we focused on in the past Q1 is really expanding and strengthening our upper management and operational reserves. So Marina here is a new addition to the team. She's running our operations in some ways alongside myself. We've just added an additional 4 new developers, a video editor, along with a designer, all of which are focused heavily on bringing this product to life, right? That's from like the expansion of the team. And those are absolutely critical items to bring, because you can't scale to the level that we want without having that talent in-house. We've also actually just recently locked in a very talented social media marketing manager who's going to unify the voice across all of our channels, across Legends of Bezogia, across ZogiLabs. That talent is just actually joining us on Monday. So you'll see a lot of that really perpetuating in our socials. Next, you may also have noticed that as the game has maturing, and as we're about to launch on the 25th, our phase 1 rollout, we are also working behind the scenes to give the Bezogia website a major facelift, just to showcase all the incredible things that this game can actually do. And of course, a lot of you out there in the DMs, in the chats I see saying when exchanges. Of course, exchanges are in the works and in the pipelines. Currently, we're listed on Gate and Mexi, and that's been fantastic for us for the last couple months. On the next sprint, we are in conversations looking to kind of add that liquidity and spread our MBLK seed everywhere. And another major point is our partnership outreach program, which has taken entirely new strides these past quarter. We're in conversations with at least 8 different chains, all of which is to make ZogiLabs and Bezogia the center hub. And later on, we'll kind of explore what that kind of partnership looks like with what we did with Engine. So you'll see some statistics and a case study of how these partnerships will roll out. So on the operational side, we're really strengthening our team. We're strengthening our processes, bringing in new people to manage different aspects of the business, and strengthening our partnerships, because that's going to allow us to really grow and tackle the different communities out there. Next slide, Marina.
I think for the next part, we wanted to introduce our team that is behind building this and give a little intro into our backend team.
That's right, guys. In just a second, you're about to see the extension of the faces that you see on screen. I mean, I know you've seen Zach a billion times, and you might be like, this guy again, give me all the new people. Then, you've seen my face and Nick and Sarvesh, but who are the builders of Bezogia? Who are the actual faces, the talent behind this? And I hope this 2-minute video just kind of shows you the talent and the work that goes into making this product come to life. So.
Why do I have this video? Second best production company in the world. Making Legends of Bezogia the movie.
Legends of Bezogia isn't just a game, it's an enchanting journey where you craft your own elegant dream game without a single line of code, but merely a couple of intuitive drags and clicks on your phone or PC.
Land sales will happen in MBLK and they're going to be the first ever. Just to give you an example, we'll spend with somebody by our users.
360 boxes as NFTs for their bank.
Walk behind like this. Yeah. Hold you to it.
We all want to know, do you have a girlfriend?
Unfortunately, no.
That answer sucks.
You're fired.
Well, we can see Zach's still here, or Nick's still here too, so that's good.
That was so cool, so cool. I just want to add one thing.
That's great.
So you see, to all the community members, so 1 hour of gameplay, at least 40 people needs to work for a week to just make your 1 hour of gameplay.
That's crazy stats. Actually, I want to know, does the community still think Nick's single, or is he taken yet? Let us know.
Okay, that's now gonna go on to comments.
MBLK rewards up for grabs.
We'll have another grand reveal on that at the end. All right. For marketing and strategy, we want to talk about how we're going to lead up to this grand launch and some of the placements we have and what we have on trajectory to do this. So, Sarvesh, if you could take this away and let us know how we're doing.
Sure. So our grand vision right now is to onboard 1 million active gamers across this year. So for that, we have, I would say, a very well laid out segregated plan. So we're first starting the seeding phase of the game with community engagement programs, wherein we're having a lot of active partnerships with gaming guilds and smaller micro communities on Facebook. We also approaching brand partnerships. So a recent case study with Engine was quite successful, wherein we saw how a UGC-based game could be actually used to design branded maps and branded elements. And we had a good close 20 maps being created across the tournament. And the amount of creativity that came out, right? We saw a lot of new experimental game modes that we could not really perceive as a standalone game modes being designed by no one but our own community and Engine's community across, I would say, 7 weeks, which is like quite a short time for someone to master something. Then we're also hosting a lot of community tournaments and esports tournaments. So for the last 8 weeks now, we've been actively hosting weekly tournaments wherein we are having more than, I would say, 8 concurrent gamers constantly play each other in gaming lobbies across speedrunning various maps, which again are created by the community across the week. So it's been a good community exercise. We also have close to now 20 plus KOLs who are actively seeding our games. So these are Web2 gamers who are predominantly playing Roblox, Minecraft, and other RPG games as a way of entertaining their audience. Now these content creators are slowly migrating to our ecosystem. They're learning how to design maps. They're learning how to build those UGC-based role-playing games inside our own ecosystem. And slowly, as we go near our launch date, these communities would also be activated alongside these KOLs with more tournaments and contests. We are also kind of looking to onboard a lot of guild and DAO partnerships with a new partnership approach that we have started this month. So you'd be seeing a lot of guilds and DAOs coming on board through various ambassadors and scholarship programs for the game. Zam, would you want to add something to this?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just telling Marina to give me a minute on this. So guys, to get to 1 million active gamers, it's not just one form of marketing, right? We all know the Twitter influencer game. You get a few people, they shill your game or whatever, or your product, and there's some eyeballs there. But to really capture the essence and the gamers that we're trying to go after, which is the Roblox communities, the Minecrafts, you'll see a slide on that in a second. It has to be a multi-targeted approach, right? So we've already activated a few of these. You already have seen some partnerships roll out. On the community engagement programs, we do have an ambassador program that is so important. At the moment, we have anywhere between 50 to 100 ambassadors participating with us to get the word out there. But ultimately, down the line, to get to 1 million active users, we're going to ramp that up to 10,000 players. And every single ambassador will have their own little mini micro ecosystem where they're constantly talking about the game. This is how you build a rich ecosystem. Like if you look at Roblox, for example, you'll have those creators and they'll have their own little communities. We are replicating that, but it starts somewhere. We just completed 20 onboarding streamers. Check mark, done. They are onboarding their community. They are playing the game and promoting it to their community. The next thing is 100 streamers. Now you have 100 streamers with a combined reach of over 20 million viewership. That is going to scale up aggressively. Of course, Sarvesh here has a tremendous amount of experience from the esports and tournament section. So to get retention, you need to activate these tournament functionalities and have people coming in. And then, of course, leaderboards, major competitions, all of these are being activated now that the product is going live, and some of it has already been activated.
Let's have a look at the numbers that we have achieved so far.
Sure. Just don't forget as well, we're going to be at GDC. I'd love to see some of our community approach us there. We're going to have Zam and Zach, I believe, but we'll see you guys there.
Yes, Zach, I don't know if you're excited or not, but it'll be my first trip to San Francisco.
I was there last year. I didn't get much time, like a couple of days. I also got to meet someone from the Bezogia community. That was awesome. So yeah, this year is going to be great. Some of the people there are already partners with us or ongoing talks and partnerships. It's going to be fun. We're gonna be meeting some of the people that we work with, like Unity Technologies. We're gonna be meeting with Epic Games. We're just gonna be seeing how we can expand more and create more exposure. Leave a solid footprint at GDC, I hope.
I'll tell you guys one thing about our partnership outreach program more recently that we've noticed. Anytime we're talking to a chain, and then they go ahead and test the product, I'll tell you this: they are actually so excited to partner. Zach, you might be muted. Oh no, you're not. You're good.
No, I'm here. Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. I love the validation. When you put a real product out there and people see, okay, yes, transactions are going to happen here, players are going to play here, entertainment factors are here, it's just a whole different outreach than going out with a concept that you're developing. Look, we nailed like proper reputable partners when it came to exchanges. We're going to be extending that as well. And the people that we're working with, these are very valid, reputable people because we have proof of product. So yeah, man, validation is just what drives us, right? It's what's inspiring us every single time. We get on a call and people are like, we've seen you, we saw what it is, we saw some of your posts, we like it, what's next steps? I just love that environment that's going on in the partnership outreach.
So back to Sarvesh with the data metrics for our next slide there. If you want to go over these numbers.
Sure. So right now I would say I'm more than happy to say that, across the last 2 months wherein we have started this massive pipeline of an approach of 1 million gamers, we now collectively have more than 380,000 views across all our content pieces from the KOL campaigns and the Web2 onboarding process. And to achieve this, right, we've achieved this using 20 community events, like 20 community held gaming tournaments that were designed for speed running, designed to engage and interact with the streamers. And during the course of which, right, we have achieved 15,000 plus total player signups. And if you know, right, we have up to $1 million worth of MBLK up for grabs in 2024, which means that you have to just complete the quest inside the game, interact with the game as much as possible, and you could have a claim at this reward. But as of now, we have, I would say, 0.05% of total rewards claim. So I would say there's more quests for everyone. And as we grow, right, the opportunities for this would just keep on increasing. And when you look at these 18 Web2 streamers, right, that are dedicatedly currently streaming every day for us, then we have the two streamers who are doing just content and tournament hosting with us. And one of them is Terence, who is hosting a lot of tournaments for us. So across all of these activations, right, we have 200 hours of game content right now live on YouTube, which means if you're going out there searching up Bezogia, you're bound to see a lot of these Web2 gamers playing the game. And when it comes to this ecosystem that is being created, right, this ecosystem that we have designed is very well balanced. 2 out of 5 gamers currently inside the game are female gamers. We have created this quite nice holistic community, which is similar to the likes of where we want to go, like similar to your Fortnite, to your Roblox, which are very inclusive gaming environments, which are designed for that maximum entertainment output.
So one of the things I noticed too, you had such a great point. I had asked you earlier, what was the metric of having 2 out of 5 games being gamers being female?
So a lot of it, right, is regarding creating these safe environments, which are, I would say, very inclusive. So where people can actually come and interact. You could have a lot of these young adults. You could have people of all age groups come together and interact with these immersive maps, as well as the community tournament. And even if you see our streaming lineup right now, we have a lot of female content creators which are actively seeding the game across to their role-playing communities and their guilds and these smaller gaming groups that they have collectively on Facebook. So I believe that maybe in a given of 12 to 15 months, we'd be a very solid, inclusive community wherein you'd have kids from all age groups, gamers from all age groups come in and build maps and interact with each other throughout this game.
Yeah,
Sounds
I
like
think
some really helpful vision.
it goes to just Bezogia being something for all ages. I had a question for you, Sarvesh. So very little of the MBLK rewards have been claimed so far. Would you say that a lot of players are at an advantage kicking off on March 25th in order to grab those rewards, starting with us and starting in the game early? Or how is it going to be laid out and the rewards distributed over the year? Is there an advantage for people coming in, like on March 25th, being able to pick up like more rewards before more people come in? Like, how is this whole thing designed?
I mean, I'd let Nick cover the details, but I'd say first comers are definitely at advantage with the new quest mechanisms coming in, new game modes coming in. There's definitely, I would say, a good chance of people coming in early, getting those quests done early, and designing those ecosystems faster and having that share. Because right now, let's say there's a tournament happening on the weekend, and if you don't have enough MBLK, you could just get inside MMORPG, rake up a couple of quests, maybe complete 5 to 6 quests, gather a lot of MBLK, enter a tournament, maybe multiply it by 3 times, because the tournaments are quite impressive when it comes to prize pool distribution and availability. And then you could then mint or summon once summoning goes live. So the ecosystem right now is designed to be very aggressive towards early farmers, and definitely people would be at advantage. Nick, would you want to add something?
Yes. So when it comes to the reward distribution, as we roll out the game in phases, the distribution of the rewards would also be in a very random phase-wise thing. But to give a generic line, we will be coming out with season 1. There will be a couple of seasons. Every quarter would have a season. A season would have a big pool of rewards. In those pool of rewards, there would be multiple leaderboards for rewards. Multiple builders would be rewarded for, let's say, maybe views, active player counts. So we'll have a lot of variations going on in even in the rewards. As every season comes across, we will also adapt as every new season will have newer game modes coming in as well. Yeah, that's all I had to. But when it comes to actually answer Zach's question on whether does a player does have an advantage of if they start early, yes, they do, because technically on the 25th, we're resetting all the scores of beta down to 0 and going live, which means uh, we just got real. We're integrating MBLK token into the game. You'll be able to deposit and withdraw MBLK tokens. So that's a very realistic connection of our game basically going live on mainnet. As you start off early, you will get chances to upgrade your weapons, mint higher recipes, keep your player and Bezogi up and competitive against other players. So starting off early will give you an upper edge.
Right. So fair play for everybody. Fair play for everybody.
So when you guys talk UGC, I think of big players like Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite. I kind of wanted to pick Zam and Zarvesh's brain of where we stand when we are compared to these kind of games.
Sure. So if you see, right, every game has a seeding phase. So I've used this word twice or thrice now. So seeding phase is the time that the game needs to kind of slowly seep across communities and form its own, I would say, audience base or community. Right now, we have kept our target of a seeding group as 1 million active gamers. And when you see these UGC heavy games, right, all of them have taken a good amount of 1 or 2 years to hit that first 1 million mark. And from there, they have just grown exponentially across the last 5 years. So for us right now, the goal is to first onboard these 100 plus KOLs from various technical backgrounds, Web 2 gamers, Web 3 gamers, Facebook gaming creators, and start having their audience and communities get onboarded onto our game. Because most of the creators that even we are working on collectively, currently working with, collectively have close to 10 million of audience reach. So that is 10 million gamers logging onto their favorite creator every day and watching him play a game of Bezogia while he's maybe playing a competitive Mobile Legends Bang Bang match, or while he's playing a competitive PUBG match. So these are not just, I would say, your regular KOLs, but these are actual athletes or entertainers who are kind of, slowly making this game a part of their lifestyle. And as we have more and more of such communities, KOLs and ambassadors start interacting with our product, the ripple effect would definitely be tremendous across our ecosystems.
If I could just add to that, guys, if we're looking at this industry as a whole, the gaming sector is the #1 sector that's actually growing year over year. If you look at the Roblox statistics, Minecraft, Fortnite, etc., these users, there's 250 active gamers, I believe, in Roblox, and something like that's 250 per month. Okay,
250 million.
Million, yes, that's right. 250 million users per month, right? And gamers typically in that audience, we are in the same industry, in the same audience, tapping into that same user base. Essentially, that what you see on chart here with the red bars, those are what Sarvesh pointed out is how they got to that first million, and then you see that explosiveness. So for us, the road to 1 million is what our goal was in the previous slide. That's why it's such a pivotal and important piece. And it has to get activated by all the different things that we're trying to do, right? We've got the streamers, the KOLs, we've got the community engagers, the ambassadors, we've got Twitter, we've got YouTube, etc. In the first million, you've got to find them where you can and bring them on board. After that, you just have this natural explosive growth, because all those 1 million users, or not all, but quite a few of them, are now creating their own content. And this is where like YouTube starts just taking off and Twitter starts taking off. Content creators just naturally pick you up. That's where the explosive factor comes in. So our goal this year is literally just to get to that red mark, which is 1 million. And then the explosiveness comes naturally.
And if you're just tuning in now, just a reminder again, we love our community, and when they reach out for an ambassador program or streaming, we'd love to have you on board. So just drop us a message and we'll have a community manager reach out. So some of the main partnership that everyone knows about is Engine. I want to review, Sam, some of the stats of what came out of that partnership with Engine.
Of course, of course. So what we see when we talk about, in the crypto space and the Web3 ecosystem space, you often hear a lot of people talk about partnerships. They'll put two logos together and it's on Twitter. Oh, we've done a partnership. Great. Whoop-de-doo. For us, a partnership really means we use a part of their product and they use a part of our product. With Engine specifically, you should have actually, they've become our really close friends now. The excitement that they had when they discovered our product and while working with them, there's just been a constant ideation or an idea like, how can your community and our community really appreciate each other? Their community is entirely gaming and NFT based. Our community is a fantastic game. So how do you marry that? We came up with a very simple concept like, hey, in Legends of Bezogia, there's millions of weapons that can be created. This is where the UGC component really shines. So we thought, why can't we just create these NFT collections on Engine and give everyone that wants to, from their community that wants to participate in Legends of Bezogia, these amazing weapons that they can directly get access to, right? Think of how many NFT projects or games do you know out there that actually have utility within an actual product like this, right? This is where we shine the most. Now we have an NFT collection that we could seed, as Sarvesh likes to put, on different chains. So we are now on Matic. Actually, we are on Matic, but we are now on Engine. We are now on Ethereum. Solana maybe, Bitcoin maybe. And then how do all these different communities come to Bezogia? By basically seeding and planting our ideas there. So the case study with Engine, this is why it's so important to that whole builders tutorial or builders and UGC. You guys saw this past 2 weeks, we did a builders tournament. And we had 15 creative maps come out just because we used their assets. We were able to take like Engine balls and put them into our game within a span of 3 days. Our developers, the videos that you've seen of the 50 people and 50 members in China basically spun that up in a span of 5 days. Now, what happens when we do that across 10 different chains? This is the important point that I want to share with you guys here is every time we do a partnership, we are growing at a rapid rate. We are getting access to an entirely new audience. And they all want these NFTs, so they come to the game. And this is like the trap, not the trap, that sounds negative, but this is kind of how like we're luring them in one NFT at a time. So yeah, I hope that kind of lets you guys. So we got 500 new assets on Engine. We have access to over 1 million NFT gaming audience. And the more we do with them, the more that audience is going to support us. We are in their Telegram channels. They're in ours. So there's this cross-pollination of community going on. It's very special, very important. And ultimately, it shines the UGC component, the builders. I think that I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that was a nice detailed answer there. Yep.
I actually remembered a question for Zach. If you don't mind, Zach, I want to get this out before I forget, but where were we at with the Bezogia Vision 2, or for the version 2 and the vision for that?
Well, you see, a lot of people have come up and a lot of people ask these questions, right? Because at the end of the day, what we ended up doing, expanding on the project so that we could deliver the best, right? Coming up, seeing how other projects were coming, competing with us. V2 was all based on the fact that what we're really trying to prove is that we're creating the strongest infrastructure for gaming as a service. So when you look at Bezogia, look at the gaming as a service infrastructure and look at the game products as just use cases that this infrastructure works, right? The most important thing that we're trying to build out here is an infrastructure layer where any game modes, any items, any creators can be hosted. So Bezogia Vision V2, which leads into, after the rollout over the next couple of quarters, will be to open source Bezogia to the max. Someone sent a message saying, hey, could we upload our own custom pictures in a UGC map that we've built and put it on a billboard? Yes, we're already working with a team, and we announced that partnership earlier as well, that does non-invasive ads, right? Tomorrow we're working on onboarding documentation where creators can add items into the UGC and benefit from the map economy of Bezogia. We're building something really cool. I know Khizr's not here, so I'm going to give a quick leak, but there will be a tool which will allow users to start creating MMORPG stories and quests. And what will happen is Bezogia will become so inclusive that, let's say there's another community that exists that has, just like Zam mentioned, NFT assets, but they don't have game mechanics, they don't have gameplay. Bezogia's vision is to be able to bring those assets, that community, and gameplay in a very simple, no code, instant like onboarding. So those communities can come to life. They can design their maps. They can participate in the gameplay. Maybe they can run a storyline next to the storyline of Bezogia in the quest system as well. Our plan is that every aspect of every part of a gaming economy should belong to the user. That's true decentralized first principles. And secondly, our vision is to find the most trustless way to include all these creators and users into the economic layers. Like we talked about the maps in the UGC, the maps are owned by the creators of the maps. They host the tournaments, they decide the entry fee, they decide what the player earns, what they get to keep as a creator, right? This is just the first step. What's coming out March 25th, this is just the first step towards that vision. So V2 is to let everyone run on our infrastructure. We are really not looking at Bezogia, and ZogiLabs has no intention of being a traditional monetizing gaming giant. The way we see it is, if ZogiLabs grows, so does 50,000, 500,000 creators and users out there with us. So yeah, that's a little bit of V2 for you, Marina.
Thank you so much. I guess to go back to our roots and where it all began is with Zogi Academy too. I wanted to touch base and remind everyone about what it is and how we're doing so far with it. Nick, did you want to speak about Zogi Academy? Zach, too?
So Zogi Academy, most of the initiative was actually run by Zach. So it's most of the credit actually goes for that as well to Zach. It's a initiative we ran in Philippines, and we ran. I think Zach, you could maybe correctly tell us how many academies how many graduations we've done.
Ooh, a lot. We're into the double digits when it comes to the sessions. There's been hundreds of graduates out of the academy. The purpose of the academy, honestly, guys, was to showcase that we could bring financial literacy using blockchain technology and a product. It turned out to be a gaming product, which is, of course, the most engaging and entertaining. So what we really wanted to prove was, hey, not only can we educate, but we can, like you have vocational training, right? Like you go straight into something that can benefit you directly, materialistically speaking, in life. So we wanted to prove that from education to the fact that there could be financial literacy, because the markets that we aim to take and expand the academy is all underdeveloped, places of the world. And what we saw with our last tournament, which we hosted at the end of the year last year in the Zogi Academy, we saw like these 8 or 9-year-olds getting involved in the UGC, building out these maps. And that was where it started making more sense as a vision, right? Like you have gamers who are flexing thousands of dollars of assets in their inventory and accounts, but then you have gamers who are playing with a purpose. So the academy is just a good turn. It proved that we can go from build to some realities, because when we held the tournament, it proved the earnings aspect as well. There was prizes given out, but there was also some rewards. So these kids took something tangible home that day. And that's what we're trying to establish with this product. Instead of having 10,000 super rich gamers, we would rather have 20 million sustainable farmers in Bezogia, right? And converting their time also monetizing their time, but giving them the maximum value, more than 95% back to them. So that's a little bit about the Zogi Academy. We've had people back us, so I want to give credit to them as well. I know they don't want to be mentioned, but there's been people that have backed the Academy and their initiative. You guys know who you are. People on the ground, our teacher Daphne, Ernesto leading it, the volunteers, the financial backers of it as well. You guys know who you are. So a lot of love to all you guys. We're going to keep pushing this forward to prove why decentralized gaming makes an impact, why blockchain gaming is the future, why Web3 is where we're all going to eventually end up as.
Awesome. That pulls at the heartstrings. That's really cute. I think I just want to leave the floor open for any last comments from our team before we move forward with Q&A. I'll start first with Zam. Any last comments before we move on that?
Yeah, does it make sense for us to just have a quick look at the roadmap again, or maybe just cover that at the end, or go straight into the Q&A? Because I got a lot of people on YouTube. They're taking polls. They're out there taking polls. Apparently, Kart Zogis by 2024 is their Christmas wish list. Kart Zogis, the auto racing thing. 85%. And then there's another one, Jet Zogis, of people are looking for those two. I think Captain Optimistic made a good point that kart racing type maps would be naturally replayable. Something we can come back to for sure. What do you guys think? Q&A or go back to the roadmap really quickly, just kind of summarize where we're at?
I think what's happening over the next couple of weeks is we are putting out, so the white paper is going to be updated, right? The white paper is going to have a lot of infographics, which breaks that roadmap into details as well, right? I think let's keep it a little bit of a surprise for them. The detailed roadmap would be more interesting for people to see than the roadmap that was displayed here.
Yeah,
they'll understand how more of the game modes are coming. What are more of the game modes that are planned? Maybe a lot of people's wishes for the kart racing game might just be coming true, right? And I think, yeah, posting some good infographics, clean, simpler, easier things for the community would be pretty much the agenda for marketing over the next 2-3 weeks as well.
Great. Let's go into the Q&A then, Marina.
Sure thing. And honestly, I'd love to hear from the community too. Speaking of Petzogis, what kind of Petzogis do you guys think we're going to launch? What breeds? I'm hoping a cat, but that's just me.
She just gave you some alpha, guys, in case you missed out on it.
Our first question from Damo.mblk. How do we rent out our Bezogi's NFTs?
You don't have to. They're automatically connected to the rental pool. So as soon as the rental pool goes live, the earnings for the Bezogis are going to start piling up, and you're going to go ahead and, I think, claim them, right, Nick?
Yeah, exactly. As soon as the rental pool goes live, we will be posting an announcement on the exact dates when we'll be taking that live. All you have to do is go into the portal and claim.
Yep. So great time to look at your Bezogi bags. See if you're missing a breed or a rarity.
Easy peasy lemon.
We'll have some cool dashboards coming up as well. That will show you. That'll give a good understanding of what's going on in the whole summoning aspect of Bezogis.
Nice.
All right, next question then. We got, when will we be updated? Well, we just
I just mentioned it. Yeah, the white paper will be updated this week itself, in the next few days. So it'll reflect everything current and some of the stuff that was showed in this AMA and much more. But do keep in mind, it's not going to mention the V2 just yet, because some of the documentation and extensions to open source Bezogia are still in the workings from the technical side.
Okay, good to know. Next question. I'm going to let it roll this time before I read it. Would Petzogis be in the renting pool?
Petzogis are not planned to be in the renting pool, but just wait, guys. Petzogis are going to be a lot of fun. Petzogis are supposed to be something awesome, other than a collectible, other than a power-up. Petzogis are going to come out to be something cool, something really good, something that stands there, and people who own Bezogis also enjoy having their Petzogis as well. So They're not planned to be in the rental pool right now because they're a limited collection, and they're not part of the mechanics of the Bezogis and the population. But see, there's a lot of cool things coming with Petzogi, guys. Just watch the space, watch the socials.
Petzogis are gonna break out eventually and take a life of their own.
They're becoming a. I'll give you one hint. They're becoming so much cuter, though.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna be the cutest animals on the internet.
Yeah. Every meeting we have, bigger eyes, bigger eyes. Let's go, cuter, cuter.
Cuter.
Next question. We got, when can we see some infographics explaining some of the parts in simpler terms from Shiba Bros?
I'll take that if you don't mind, guys. Our biggest push in the last couple months have been to really ramp up this section because our game is so expansive. Certain elements really do need to be explained. So two things are happening internally. One is we're creating a series of videos on how to actually use the UGC component with the support of some of our community members. Shout out to Quaizen and Daz. They're putting like all of those little tutorials together, from how to log into the game, how to drop this, how to stretch it, how to make it smaller, that entire thing. So within 20 minutes, you'll know how to build a level. But we're also working with some talented designers to actually take this complicated system of gaming that we build and show you how they're all interconnected. And that is an agenda that operations is really working on, simplifying that for everybody.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Our next question is, when will we be able to use wood, iron, and mythical Legends of Bezogia keys?
All right. So I think Hizzer did mention a little bit earlier about like redemption codes and everything.
Mhm.
So of course, the purpose of these are also to be redeemed. So we'll kind of make announcements to the community on that as well, so they know what exactly they can use it for, how they can use it, what they can get. Might be some surprises and mysteries as well. So not going to be very specific as to what the holders of the keys are going to be getting. But of course, it goes without saying, it's ZogiLabs. It's Bezogia. So it's going to be fun.
Okay, so I know now we have when summoning. I know we have when launch. But it looks like they also want to know when land sales in Bezogia.
That's planned for quarter two. It makes a lot of sense to bring the lands even now. But since one thing we've learned in our experience is that we don't want to prematurely bring any product to the market. In hindsight, sometimes we've been early in deployment on a few things. And now that we've reached the stage, we're trying to couple things up and batch things up to make sure that, they fall in the right order. So with land sales, definitely we're aiming for Q2. Land sales is going to be pretty awesome because they're going to be probably the first virtual turnkey real estate solution out there, and a place where a lot of the map creators are going to be able to find the economy with the landowners. So it's going to be a very cool product. It's going to go out again and very, very great fair value distribution mechanics that Nick was kind of like conjuring up. And yeah, quarter two is what we're aiming for. But
if I may just touch up on that one, I know Speed, you were asking about that. There is a method to the madness in some respects here. Like the actual product is ready, but when it comes to getting the right number of users onboarded before land sales can actually activate is extremely important. So having all those people, which is what we're working on Q1, getting our major products out there, and then once we have a healthy user base, playing, participating, engaging, Q2 land sales kicks in.
Okay. I think that was it for our kind of pre-added questions. Was there any questions we wanted to answer from the community that we had during this call? I know some interesting ones came up.
We've got some. I will queue them up. Some of these are just directly from our community. Scotty's got a couple, so we'll pull them up. Enjoying this AMA. I'm glad, Scotty, you're enjoying this. Have you got any specific targets for the value of MBLK token?
Can't give financial advice.
Can't give financial advice, but I don't know if you saw, but at the beginning of this presentation, there was a rocket floating somewhere. Not financial advice.
I think just for a quick summary of MBLK tokenomics for new people that are probably listening in, there was MBLK supply is like a chokehold supply. So we're on target. If you look into the white paper as well, the first year supply release is only going to be 13% of the circulating supply, but seems like currently we're analyzed to be lower than that. The second good thing about MBLK token is the deflationary mechanic. A lot of the plan integrations just use MBLK into the product, so which creates higher demand than supply. Also, I think when it comes to looking and analyzing or projecting daily active users to MBLK token value, it's a very, very sophisticated study. Like you guys say, if we get 1 million users this year, that's multiples of X's, right? Because the demand will just be so much larger than the supply available in the market. I mean, 40% of supply is against liquidity at this point. So just imagine it's sustainable growth, high growth, low instances of extreme volatility, and it's all planned for that. So from this point on, where we are today, which is literally our opening book value, I don't know. It just seems like there's only one direction to go.
NFA, guys, NFA.
Not financial advice, of course. I think MBLK will be very fun for especially traders and speculators. Why? Because as they see data, metrics, users, they see more gamers, users coming in, it's almost predictable mathematics. When you know that, okay, every time a user comes in, he pulls in $5, $10, or $20 of MBLK. 10,000 users come in, that's like $2 million of MBLK. Anyone can break it down or bring it down to like $1 a person and still see how demand outstrips supply, at least for the next 2 or 3 years. That's what we plan MBLK tokenomics for.
I've got one more question from Scotty here. Before we do that, Timothy sent us a loving heart. So, hey, Timothy, we love you. We see you in the communities crushing it. So appreciate you. Let's go to one more. And this has been something that we've internally discussed. Are you planning a cinematic trail prior to launch? Yes and no. The cinematic trailer is currently ongoing and planned, but the way I feel like we're going to roll this out is March 25th is going to be heavily marketed for sure through streamers. But when we're like really ready for a big blowout, we'll launch another cinematic trailer. I think the same guys that we had to produce our first one, which was a couple of years back, is going to be delivering the second cinematic trailer.
That's right. That's correct.
Yeah. And I know we all love that first trailer. As old as it is, I watch it repeatedly because it's so
what
good.
The community can expect is a lot more engaging real game content. That's what we're aiming for, because now we're going for the users and the gamers' eyes. So we're just trying to show the product more and more, because a lot of people don't realize how extensive Bezogia has become. It's not just the battle royales or the MMORPG or the UGCs or the game modes, but the expanding stuff that's happening with it. So I think we're really trying to show product, to show the entertainment and excitement, right? Leading up to this in many ways.
I'm going to miss that Scottish accent dude, though. He was cool. I like that. I hope we bring him back.
No, we're not bringing the Scottish accent back. I'll tell you that.
I've got another question here from Meta Zogi. His comment is bitmaps for land sales? Question mark, question mark, question mark. How do we feel about that?
It's going to be very interesting and exciting how Zogi lands onto bitmaps or bit anything right now. It's going to be very interesting space. Meta, in fact, you should jam with us a little bit afterwards. There's some really, really cool ideas of how Zogi's making a grand entrance to Bitcoin right now. So watch the space. The announcements are going to start very soon.
Fantastic, Marina. I think
that concludes it. I really want to thank everyone that joined today, our team, our community. Thank you for following this path and being patient with us, but we're really excited to do this. It's going to be a busy month.
I feel like this just flew by, this AMA. I almost want to just hang out and chill with you guys. Yeah, that was great. A lot of people love the AMA. They're really enjoying this. Edmar, Scotty, love to see it. Oh yes, I think the final question was cart Zogis, but Zach, you kind of answered that. That maybe check the white paper, guys. That's coming in this week by finality, and there should be a lot more details about the roadmap.
Yep. We'll update it as soon as we can. We'll put as many infographics to simplify a lot of our technical concepts so that it's just easier for people to capture all of Bezogia.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys.
Just one last thing I just want to mention is you mentioned on community, you mentioned ambassadors. So really for all those out there that are listening or the ones that are hearing the recording, first of all, thanks a lot for joining us. Thanks a lot for hearing us go on for over an hour, right? But reach out if you want to participate as a user, as a gamer, as a creator, as an ambassador, as anyone or anybody interested in Bezogia, just reach out to us, reach out to our moderators like Daz or anyone in the team. There's always a place you can have fun with us. We are currently have a very large hybrid module of community that runs with us in builders and ambassadors. And it's just becoming a great place to now vibe. And being early, especially if you're planning to participate, this could be the best time. So we're all open doors, open ears. We like to listen to the community, gamers, what they feel, what they like, beta testers, the bugs they see, we fix them right away. So just keeping in that vibe, reach out anytime, follow us, like us,
I think that's it.
That's everything.
Shall we conclude? Thank you everyone for participating.
Jam pack AMA.
Shall we play the team video?
One last thing. Yeah. Mad love to you guys, man. I'd never thought that ZogiLabs would have such great talent, such great people like you guys on board. I know not only just you, Marina, Sam, Servesh, Kizer, who've come here, but everyone else in the Zogi family. Really, it's just been a pleasure working with all you guys, and I'm just so humbled and appreciative of the amazing intelligence you guys have brought to the project. So thanks, you guys, a lot.
You made me tear up, bro.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I really want to play the hype video one more time. The team.
Let's do it. I want to watch it again.
The music is a bop.
Why do I have this video? The second best production company in the world. Making of Legends of Bezogia, the movie.
Legends of Bezogia isn't just a game, it's an enchanting journey, where you craft your own elegant dream game without a single line of code, but merely a couple of intuitive drags and clicks on your phone or PC.
Land sales will happen in MDLK, and they're going to be the first ever. Just to give you an example, I'll spend with somebody by our users.
363 boxes as NFTs for their value.
Ka
line like this.
Yeah.
Oh, you do it.
It's good.
We all want to know, do you have a girlfriend?
Unfortunately, no.
That answer sucked.
You're fired.
All right, that was a lot of fun, guys. I hope you enjoyed that.
Send me a link to that.
Sam, you need to end the stream.
Oh, okay. Stream is over. I don't want it to end. Okay, bye, guys.